Ever wonder what's the farthest human-made object from Earth?
Voyager 1.
Voyager 1 spacecraft launched in 1977 to gather data from the deepest recesses of our universe.
Well, that title belongs to this amazing spacecraft. Ever wondered what happens when a spacecraft billions of miles away starts acting strange?
Voyager 1 had been sending back information until the end of 2023, when the space probe began experiencing some issues and sent a bunch of code that scientists just couldn't figure out.
Voyager 1, our farthest explorer, has been sending puzzling messages. What's causing these mysterious glitches in deep space? History of Voyager 1. So, when did this cosmic adventure begin? It's September 5th, 1977. Star Wars just hit theaters, and at Cape Canaveral in Florida, something extraordinary is about to happen. NASA is about to launch Voyager 1, a spacecraft that would change our understanding of the solar system forever. Why send a spacecraft out there in the first place? The main goal was to study Jupiter and Saturn, their moons, and the space around them. NASA thought, hey, we've got this rare chance to explore multiple planets in one go, so let's make the most of it. But here's the kicker. Voyager 1 wasn't just planned for a quick trip. The smart folks at NASA designed it for a 4-year mission. But guess what? It's been out there for over 40 years now, still sending back data. Let's rewind a bit. How did they even build something like this back in the 1970s? It wasn't easy, that's for sure. They used the best tech available at the time, which now might seem pretty old school to us. But it was cutting edge back then. They packed it full of scientific instruments, each with a specific job to do. Now here's a cool bit of space fact for you. The scientists planned its route to take advantage of a special planetary alignment that only happens once every 176 years. This allowed Voyager 1 to use each planet's gravity like a slingshot, saving fuel and picking up speed. Pretty smart, right? So, what did Voyager 1 discover on its epic journey? Let's start with Jupiter. When Voyager 1 flew by the gas giant, it sent back mind-blowing images of Jupiter's swirling atmosphere and its rings. But the real showstopper? It found active volcanoes on Io, one of Jupiter's moons. Can you believe it? This was the first time we'd ever seen volcanoes erupting on another world. How cool is that? But wait, there's more. What about Saturn, the crown jewel of our solar system? Voyager 1 didn't disappoint. It captured stunning pictures of Saturn's rings, showing us details we'd never seen before. And remember Titan, Saturn's largest moon? Voyager 1 revealed it had a thick atmosphere. This discovery got scientists really excited about the possibility of life beyond Earth. Now, you might be wondering, what happened after Voyager 1 finished with the planets? Well, it just kept going. In fact, in 2012, it did something no human-made object had ever done before. Any guesses? It crossed into interstellar space. That's right. Voyager 1 became the first spacecraft to leave our solar system and enter the vast unknown between the stars. First up, power. Voyager 1 doesn't rely on solar panels. Why? Because it's so far from the sun that solar power wouldn't work. Instead, it uses something called radioisotope thermoelectric generators, or RTGs for short. These are like nuclear batteries that have kept Voyager powered up for decades. Next, communication. How does it talk to us from billions of miles away? It uses a high-gain antenna, which is like a super powerful radio that can send signals across vast distances of space. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. We're still chatting with a spacecraft that's farther away than any human-made object has ever been. But what about the scientific instruments? What's Voyager 1 actually using to study space? It's got a whole suite of tools on board. There's the cosmic ray subsystem, which measures high-energy particles zipping through space. Then there's the low-energy charged particle instrument, studying different types of particles. And don't forget the magnetometer, which measures magnetic fields out there in the cosmos. All this tech sounds great, but how has it lasted so long in the harsh environment of space? That's the real engineering marvel of Voyager 1. The team that built it made it tough, really tough. It's weathered solar radiation, extreme cold, and all sorts of space hazards for over 4 decades. But Voyager 1's journey isn't just about the tech, it's about us, humanity. Think about it. This little spacecraft, not much bigger than a car, is out there representing all of us. It's carrying a golden record with sounds and images from Earth, like a cosmic time capsule. How mind-blowing is that? So, what's next for Voyager 1? Well, it's still going strong, heading further and further into interstellar space. It's teaching us new things about what lies beyond our solar system, and who knows what else it might discover. And as we were thinking about it, it wasn't all sunshine. After all, how could everything going so well suddenly take a turn? The disappearance and re-establishing contact. It's 2022, and Voyager 1 has been cruising through space for a mind-blowing 45 years. Everything's going smoothly, right? Well, not quite. The engineers back on Earth started noticing something weird. Can you guess what it was? Yep, Voyager 1 was sending back some seriously confusing messages. Now, imagine you're texting your friend, but instead of normal messages, they start sending you random emojis and gibberish. That's kind of what happened with Voyager 1. The spacecraft was transmitting data that just didn't make sense. Talk about a long-distance communication problem. This was a big deal. Why? Because Voyager 1 is our eyes and ears in interstellar space. It's telling us about a part of the universe we've never explored before. So when it started speaking in tongues, so to speak, the folks at NASA were more than a little worried. What do you do when your spacecraft goes haywire 14 billion miles away? You can't exactly send a repair crew, right? This is where the real heroes of our story come in. The engineers at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, or JPL for short. These brilliant minds jumped into action. They started analyzing every bit of data they could get their hands on. They looked at current telemetry, dug through historical records, and even ran simulations to try and figure out what was going on. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the vast emptiness of space. You see, Voyager 1 is really far away. How far? Well, it takes over 20 hours for a signal from Earth to reach it, and another 20 hours for Voyager's response to get back to us. Can you imagine having a conversation where each reply takes almost 2 days? That's what the NASA team was dealing with. This huge time delay made troubleshooting a real challenge. It's not like they could just turn it off and on again. Every command they sent had to be perfect because if something went wrong, it would take days to find out and try again. But wait, it gets even trickier. Remember, Voyager 1 is using technology from the 1970s. That's older than many of our parents. So the team had to dust off old manuals and brush up on systems that haven't been used in decades. It's like trying to fix a vintage car when all you've ever seen are modern electric vehicles. After months of head-scratching and late-night brainstorming sessions, the team had a breakthrough. They figured out that Voyager 1 had somehow switched to using a backup computer. But not just any backup computer, one that hadn't been used since the spacecraft was tested before launch in the 1970s. Can you imagine waking up a computer that's been asleep for over 4 decades and expecting it to work perfectly? No wonder Voyager was sending garbled messages. But why did this switch happen in the first place? That's the million-dollar question that had the NASA team scratching their heads. Was it a glitch? A cosmic ray hit? Or maybe Voyager 1 just felt like shaking things up after 45 years of the same old routine. Now, fixing this issue wasn't as simple as hitting a reset button. The team had to come up with a plan to switch Voyager back to its main computer system. But here's the catch. They had to do it without making things worse. The engineers worked tirelessly to craft the perfect set of commands. They tested and retested them here on Earth, making sure everything was absolutely perfect. Because when you're dealing with a one-of-a-kind spacecraft that far away, there's no room for errors. Finally, after careful preparation, they sent the commands, and then they waited. Remember that 40-hour round trip for signals? Yeah, that made for some nail-biting moments. The whole team was on edge, hoping their plan would work. And guess what? It did. Well, mostly. Voyager 1 responded to the commands and switched back to its main computer system. The gibberish messages stopped, and the spacecraft started sending back clearer data. But this isn't your average wait. We're talking about a spacecraft that's so far away, it takes over 20 hours for a signal to reach it. Can you imagine the suspense? It's like sending a text to your crush and then waiting almost a whole day for a reply. Talk about nerve-wracking. Now, here's a question to ponder. What do you think was going through the minds of these scientists and engineers during that long wait? Were they confident? Nervous? Maybe a bit of both? The stakes were incredibly high. This wasn't just about fixing a technical glitch. The entire future of the Voyager 1 mission hung in the balance. If these commands didn't work, we could lose our eyes and ears in interstellar space. No pressure, right? Then finally, after what must have felt like an eternity, something happened. Can you guess what it was? That's right, a signal from Voyager 1. But was it good news or bad news? Imagine the relief and joy that flooded the room when they realized the signal showed success. Voyager 1 had received the commands, executed them perfectly, and was back to sending coherent data. The cheers and high fives in mission control must have been something to see. These dedicated folks had just pulled off something incredible. They'd fixed a spacecraft from 14 billion miles away. How cool is that? Why did Voyager switch computers in the first place? Could it happen again? And were there any lasting effects from this cosmic hiccup? These questions keep the mission team on their toes. They're constantly monitoring Voyager 1, watching for any signs of trouble. It's like being a long-distance doctor, always checking on your patient's health from afar. Now let's take a step back and think about what this whole situation means. It's been out there for over 4 decades, pushing the boundaries of our knowledge. And even when it hits a snag, we find a way to keep it going. This experience also reminds us of the incredible challenges of deep space exploration. When something goes wrong millions or billions of miles away, we can't just send a repair crew. We have to use our brains, our creativity, and a whole lot of patience to solve problems. It's also a reminder of how far we've come in space technology. The fact that we can communicate with and control a spacecraft so far away is mind-blowing. Just think. Voyager 1 was launched before the internet was a thing, and now we're troubleshooting it from our advanced mission control centers. What does this success mean for space exploration as a whole? Well, it shows us that even with decades-old technology, we can overcome huge challenges in space. It's a testament to human creativity and hard working. Pretty inspiring, don't you think? Now, with Voyager 1 back on track, the real fun begins again. Science. Remember, this isn't just any old satellite. Voyager 1 is our scout in interstellar space, sending back information about a region we've never explored before. So, what kind of data are we talking about? Voyager 1 is measuring things like cosmic rays, magnetic fields, and plasma waves. Now, I know these might sound like terms from a sci-fi movie, but they're real phenomena that help us understand the space between stars. But why is this data so important? Well, it's helping us understand the boundary between our solar system and interstellar space. It's like Voyager 1 is mapping the shore of a vast cosmic ocean we're just beginning to explore. And here's something even cooler. We've got Voyager 2 out there too. By comparing data from both spacecraft, scientists can see how different regions of interstellar space might vary. It's like having 2 explorers scouting different parts of an unknown land and comparing notes. How long can Voyager 1 keep this up? Great question. NASA plans to keep it going as long as possible, hopefully until at least 2025. But here's the catch. Voyager 1's power supply is slowly running out. They're prioritizing the most important systems and instruments to make sure we get the most valuable scientific data possible. It's like deciding which apps on your phone are essential when your battery is low. So, what might these future missions look like? Will they be faster? More advanced? What new technologies might they use? These are the exciting questions that scientists and engineers are already starting to tackle. And here's a mind-bending thought. Voyager 1 carries the famous golden record, a time capsule of Earth's sounds and images. Long after its systems have shut down, Voyager 1 will continue its journey through the galaxy, carrying this message from humanity. Who knows? Maybe one day, far in the future, some alien civilization might find it. As we look to the future, it's amazing to think about how far we've come. From the early days of space exploration to sending a craft beyond our solar system, each step has been a leap for human knowledge and capabilities. But question still remains. Why did Voyager 1 was sending mixed signals? Or was it something we just could not comprehend just yet with our knowledge? Theories and speculations. Remember how we talked about Voyager 1 sending back some weird, garbled messages? Well, that's just the tip of the cosmic iceberg. So, what's really going on out there in the depths of space? That's the million-dollar question, and boy, do people have some wild theories. Voyager 1, our intrepid explorer, zooming through interstellar space. It's been out there for over 45 years, further from Earth than any human-made object has ever been. But here's the thing. Space isn't exactly a friendly place, especially that far out. Well, Voyager 1 is in an environment that's even harsher than that. We're talking about a place with intense radiation, weird magnetic fields, and who knows what else. It's no wonder our spacecraft might be acting a little strange. But what kind of strange are we talking about? Well, there have been unexplained glitches in Voyager 1's systems. Sometimes it sends back data that doesn't make sense, or its instruments behave in ways the NASA team can't explain. So what could be causing these glitches? Here's where it gets really interesting. Scientists have come up with a bunch of theories, and some of them are pretty mind-bending. One idea is that the harsh conditions of interstellar space are messing with Voyager 1's electronics. This spacecraft was built in the 1970s. Its technology is older than most of the people watching this video. And now it's being bombarded by all sorts of weird space stuff we don't fully understand yet. How do you think our modern smartphones would hold up in interstellar space? Not too well, I bet. Another theory is that cosmic rays could be the culprit. These are super high-energy particles that zip through space at nearly the speed of light. When they hit something, like, say, a spacecraft, they can cause all sorts of havoc. And then, there's the idea of interstellar dust. Now, when we say dust, we're not talking about the stuff you clean off your shelves at home. This is tiny particles of matter floating in space between the stars. Could these be interfering with Voyager 1's systems somehow? It's possible. But here's the thing that makes this all so tricky. We've never been to interstellar space before. Voyager 1 is our first probe out there, so everything it encounters is new to us. It's like being the first explorer in a new land. Everything you see is a discovery. Now, something that might make you go, Some folks have suggested that maybe, just maybe, these glitches aren't natural at all. What if, and this is a big what if, Voyager 1 has encountered some kind of alien technology? I know. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. But hey, when you're dealing with the unknown, sometimes even the wildest ideas get considered. The theory goes that maybe some advanced alien civilization has found Voyager 1 and is trying to interact with it. Exciting to think about, right? Some folks out there are wondering if Voyager 1's weird behavior might be because it's bumped into some alien tech. Voyager 1 is cruising along in interstellar space, minding its own business, when suddenly, bam! It encounters something completely out of this world. Maybe it's an alien probe, or some kind of super advanced space buoy. Whatever it is, it notices our little Earth ambassador and thinks, hey, what's this primitive thing doing out here? Now these hypothetical aliens, being the advanced beings they are, might try to communicate with Voyager 1. But here's the catch. Their way of communicating could be so advanced that to us, it looks like our spacecraft is malfunctioning. It's like if you tried to send a text message to a rotary phone. Things are going to get weird, right? Some people speculate that these anomalies we're seeing could be the aliens' attempt to upgrade Voyager 1, or maybe they're trying to download its data. Others think they might be attempting to send a message back to Earth through our little probe. While it's fun to imagine, there's a big gap between unexplained anomalies and definite proof of alien contact. Here's another angle to consider. What if the message isn't from aliens, but it's just so advanced we can't understand it yet? Think about it. Voyager 1 is in a part of space we've never explored before. Maybe it's encountering natural phenomena that are so strange and new, our current science can't make sense of them. These glitches might be Voyager 1 telling us something amazing about interstellar space, but we just don't have the knowledge to decode it yet. Remember too that Voyager 1 is using tech from the 1970s. It's impressive that it's still working at all. So these anomalies could simply be the result of old equipment facing new challenges. At the end of the day, while the alien theory is exciting, scientists always look for the simplest explanation first. It's way more likely that these glitches are caused by the harsh environment of interstellar space, or the spacecraft showing its age, than by extraterrestrial beings. But you know what? Even if it's not aliens, the reality of what's happening with Voyager 1 is pretty darn cool. It's out there pushing the boundaries of our knowledge, encountering things we've never seen before. And every weird blip or glitch is a new piece of the cosmic puzzle for us to figure out. So, while we probably won't be shaking hands with aliens anytime soon, Voyager 1's journey is still one heck of an adventure. It's a reminder that the universe is vast, strange, and full of mysteries waiting to be solved. And who knows, maybe someday, one of those mysteries really will lead us to alien life. Until then, we'll keep watching, wondering, and exploring the final frontier. Speaking of weird space stuff, let's not forget that Voyager 1 is really, really old in spacecraft years. It's been out there working hard for over 4 decades. That's like a 150-year-old car still running on its original engine. Pretty impressive, but also bound to have some quirks. So another theory is that these glitches are simply due to Voyager 1's advanced age. Maybe some of its components are wearing out or behaving unpredictably after so long in the harsh environment of space. It's like how an old computer might start acting up. Except this computer is billions of miles away, and we can't just restart it. If you were a scientist trying to solve this mystery, where would you start? What kind of tests or experiments would you want to run? The tricky part is, we can't exactly go out there and check on Voyager 1 in person. Everything has to be done remotely, with signals taking over 20 hours each way. Despite these challenges, the team at NASA is working tirelessly to understand these anomalies. They're analyzing every bit of data Voyager 1 sends back, looking for patterns or clues that might explain what's going on. And you know what? Even though these glitches are a bit of a headache for the scientists, they're also incredibly exciting. Why? Because each unexplained anomaly is a chance to learn something new about interstellar space. Think about it. Every time Voyager 1 does something unexpected, it's telling us that there's something out there we don't understand yet. And in science, not understanding something is often the first step to making a big discovery. So, while the NASA team works to ensure Voyager 1 keeps functioning, they're also eagerly studying these anomalies. Each glitch, each weird data point, could be the key to unlocking new secrets about the space between stars. And here's something cool to think about. The lessons we learn from Voyager 1's experiences will be super valuable for future missions. Imagine we send another spacecraft into interstellar space in the future. Thanks to Voyager 1, we'll have a much better idea of what to expect and how to prepare for it. Voyager 1's continued operation and data return every day represents a victory of scientific effort and human creativity. It pushes the limits of our knowledge and comprehension of the universe, even when its flaws confuse us. So, what do you think? What could be causing these mysterious anomalies? Is it the harsh environment of interstellar space? The spacecraft's age? Or something we haven't even thought of yet? The beauty of science is that we get to keep exploring these questions, following the evidence wherever it leads us. And who knows? Maybe someday, thanks to the pioneering journey of Voyager 1, humans will be out there in interstellar space, seeing these phenomena for ourselves. Until then, we'll keep listening to our explorer, trying to decipher the messages it sends from the frontier of human exploration. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember Voyager 1, It's out there, still working, still exploring, carrying a piece of all of us into the great unknown. Pretty amazing for a mission that was only supposed to last 4 years, don't you think? What's your take on Voyager 1's weird behavior? Share your theories in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.